listening to the Non-Del Influencers Podcast, brought to you by First Funding. Join host Matt Coles as he delivers powerful conversations to help non-delegated lenders succeed and scale in today's market.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the latest episode of the Non-Del Influencer Podcast. My man, JD Cutri, VP of Non-Delegated Lending. I already messed it up, JD. What is the title again?
The VP of Non-Delegated Correspondent Lending.
VP of Non-Delegated Correspondent Lending. That's a mouthful, and that is a part of moving up the ranks inside of a company. Your title gets longer the longer you stay at a company. JD, how are you today, bud?
Doing well. Can't complain. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing good, man. I'm out here in Dallas. I was just telling our host that it's 95 degrees and raining. Not exactly a comfortable temperature for this Southern California kid.
Yeah, not 72 right now in San Diego. That's what we're dealing with.
Exactly. All right. Well, JD, you and I are no strangers to each other. We worked together for many years. We do a lot of great sales calls. We do a lot of trainings together. I love your story about where you started. And so, for those that don't know, you interned with Plaza while you were in college?
Yeah, did 3 years as an intern in college.
So then you interned with the correspondent division, if I'm not mistaken, and then you ended up taking a job kind of supporting Plaza Home Mortgage's long tenured number one account executive and cut your teeth there trying to learn the business of wholesale sales. And then you moved into an AE role where I got to work with you. What is some of the eye-opening parts of your career that you can, that you look back and go like, that was a key moment to my success?
For year one, you're in the copy room, right? As an intern, and you're like, okay, why am I copying this deed of trust into our system, and what's this final title policy? And that's kind of where you fast forward to where I am now, and you have to deal with all those documents on a daily basis, right? And especially with your company too at First Funding. So it's classic to see, the evolution of my career, where it's been. And then, one of the eye-opening, I think, as an internship was working for our national correspondent my second year as a Plaza intern. And it was the onboarding calls, and it was basically the staff, that national correspondent, the support system that they had, that when a customer got approved with Plaza, they would dive into these amazing onboarding calls and show them who your contacts are throughout the transaction. And that really made, you could see the comfort level of these national correspondents feel how comforting it for them to sell a loan to Plaza at the end of the day, right? And that,
yeah, I think that you and I have talked about onboarding calls till we're blue in the face. To me, it's probably one of the most critical opportunities that you get once the sale is complete to solidify the relationship.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer to just, that's how you start a business partnership, right? And make sure that everything aligns. And you feel comfortable working with that investor. The second one, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say then you moved into a different role, right? Supporting a fantastic producer that's been at Plaza forever, still there. What was some of the takeaways there? I mean, I know you had to learn work ethic and grind and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was East Coast, I was West Coast. So it was the 6 a.m. morning, right, to get on East Coast hours. But the one thing I took away there is being able to cold call and try to set up meetings for him. That guy's the biggest road warrior I think I've ever met. He will drive 5-6 hours to go see a client and then drive back home, and consistently on the phone. But that was one of the cool game plans that we had, was pick a zip code, hit up all the brokers. We had a great list back then, and just cold call him and see, hey, he's going to be in your area. All he needs is 15 minutes. And that guy was 90% approval rate when he got in the door with these brokers. So
Yeah.
that was the big experience, was the cold calling, and trying to just figure it out on my own. Our good friend Nate Clear, that was the time where he told me, your first year as an AE, you won't know anything, or in sales, in the mortgage business in general. Your second year, you figured out. Your third, you're pretty much an expert. In that first year, what was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? I mean, dude, that wasn't coming around my desk too often.
Well, that was great. It's crazy that you mentioned that, because when you came in on board with my team, right? I had a manager that brought you over, and you and I started working together. That was really, you were very early on in what we were trying to do in the non-delegated space. If we had a half a dozen non-del clients at that time, I mean, I would be surprised. You were trying to build out something new, and you fell on your face quite a bit for the first 6 months, right? I mean, I remember specifically sometimes talking to you and you just being bummed out about what was going on. But what were some of the lessons that you took away from that, and how it has grown?
Yeah, I mean, that was basically when I was hired as an account executive, it was strictly to go after non-delegated customers, and that was it. And that sales process is a lot longer than or it doesn't need to be, but as a lender, you like vetting out your investors a little more than just getting signed up with that new, as a broker, getting signed up with another lender to get that one product, right? You want to see if the relationship's there, if it's mutual, if they feel comfortable that us, Plaza, and investors going to purchase your loans in a timely fashion, et cetera. So the sales process could tend to be a little longer. And so it was hard to get that pipeline up and rolling, right?
I'll also add, it was also harder to find the lenders back then, because we didn't have all the data. We didn't have all the data that we have at our fingertips today.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it really was a vendor is getting with the vendors, right? Your warehouse bank partners, your AMC partners, your MI partners. That's what got me through it. If I didn't have good relationships with my vendors that I met through Plaza, there's no way I would have got through in the door with how many non-dels that we did at the time.
Yeah, you and I have always talked about, and you've heard me preach this a lot, which is, I think a salesperson in the account executive in that TPO space does not do enough of leveraging those relationships with the vendors to go out and make those sales calls together. First of all, making a sales call with someone else by your side selling a completely different thing takes all the pressure off of you, right?
Yeah.
And you can also just have a good follow-up and a good follow-up partner to make sure that you're accountable for the things that you need to do post meeting.
I mean, look, we all have the same customer, right? It's a mutual basis, and I think that's where it got us in the door a lot more than if I could cold call a non-del, right? So it was great.
So you grabbed this new role, and I'm assuming because you saw an explosion happening in the non-del space, you saw it moving. When you first started, it was a little bit more challenging to move to the non-del, right? You had to think about a fulfillment partner. Not every investor actually even supported the non-del channel. There's a lot more opportunity that TPO partners are giving to their non-del partners today than there ever has been. So when you grab this opportunity, what was the goal that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, the goal is definitely is growth, right? And that's where we saw that at Plaza when we rolled this out 12 years ago as a channel, the market opportunity just wasn't there, right? And this role did exist. It just, we didn't have the volume to make it, make sense of it, right? Fast forward, you look at it, it's probably the number one market opportunity in the mortgage industry right now. Consistently that you see, I mean, from your standpoint, I'm sure you've seen more brokers and bankers. I've had more calls these last few months of broker to banker concept and how they go about it. And I think from a company standpoint, we just saw we finally realized, look, if we want to grow as a company, this is the target market for that growth.
Yeah, we do. We see a tremendous amount of that broker to banker conversion, and it's not an easy sell. I mean, it's not that it's not an easy sell. It's not a short sell, right? You're changing the DNA of somebody who has run a successful broker shop forever, and you're finally getting them to see, okay, let's make it move to non-del. And it does take 90 to 180 days, even longer sometimes, to get that going.
100%.
How do you successfully stay in front of the opportunity without letting it go?
Yeah, we've done a really good job from initial conversations to do the follow-up, right? And I've really urged my my sales team to consistently with their brokers just bring it up casually, like, hey, I brought, every month, just when you are talking to them, hey, have you thought about it? And slowly but surely they'll want to have that conversation with me or someone, a warehouse bank like yourself, to get a little more information. But if you just keep, not say, hey, you got to do it, but hey, have you thought about it?
Right.
Have you thought about the pros? Like, will it outweigh the cons? And it usually does.
Yeah.
So it's reminding them of their, like you mentioned earlier, our investors out there, the investors out there, they really have they simplified this non-del process, right? And they've made it real easy to just, you don't have to hire more people, right? A lot of people, that's number one. Oh, I got to hire a funder. You don't. How many one-man shops do it themselves that I've run around? So, we've done a good job, and I know my competition's done a good job to make it as easy as possible from a broker to transition. I think it's important to just keep reminding them that, it's all those false rumors that you heard 3 years ago are a lot different now.
Yeah. So, but one of the things about where you're at Plaza, which is, everyone knows Plaza is very diverse in its product offerings. And I just wanted to know, like, how do you position that with your lenders? Maybe trying to get your foot in the door with already an established non-del, or maybe someone who's thinking about that broker to banker conversion. Like, how big is the product diversity that Plaza offers in your sales cycle?
Yeah, I think that's the number one thing we pride ourselves about at Plaza is being able to offer a product portfolio that I don't think anyone really has, but Plaza, and with the specialty departments that follow with it. And how I like talking to my customers about it are two things, right? One, is the branding opportunity that you could use all our products and be able to bank it in your name, right? The number one thing I talk about is they don't know who Plaza is throughout the transaction. We do a really good job so the borrowers don't know, because once the borrower finds out who's Plaza, that's the number one question they're asking their originator, and then it could go sideways, right?
Yeah.
So the branding, to be able to use our non-QM, our DSCR, our second liens as their own product and name it ABC Mortgage investor product, because I guarantee you a borrower doesn't know what DSCR means, is a huge opportunity. And I think that's the number one thing I preach to my non-dels, is you to use it. I love the non-QM. It reminds people of subprime, right? Like, honestly, it's not a great word. And so if you could use it as ABC Mortgage self-employment product, I think it goes across better to your real estate agents and to your borrowers. The second thing is maximizing profitability. And I think that's important, right? When you have these non-QM loans, DSCR loans, second lien loans, you can really be able to maximize opportunity. In the fact that you eliminate your compensation plan and really could utilize the fact to brand these products, and then be able to hopefully bring in more revenue for your company.
I talk about it all the time. I think that the non-del space is being supported by the investor growth that's interested in that opportunity. And then it's also the branding aspect of it. Everybody wants to build a brand nowadays. And especially when we are getting so many people coming over from the distributed retail space
Right. Great.
into ours, the long past rumors of, well, you don't get the support, you don't get the specialty products, you don't get this. I mean, you're just answering all those questions right now.
100%. Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want to go back to, because I know this is very important for anyone who might be in a sales role with a TPO partner or non-del partner, without giving away all your trade secrets, right? Because I know you hold it near and dear. Talk me through exactly what you're trying to accomplish in the onboarding process with regards to what are the high level bullet points that you're hitting on and that you do not let go unsaid.
Yeah, I always start off these onboarding calls with who are your main contacts, right? Who are, like, if you're in trouble, who are you going to go to from when you register a loan to when we buy the loan from you, right?
Right.
And here are the main ones. I think that's always important. We at Plaza, we encourage people to talk to underwriters. We encourage communication, and that's it. Might as well show the people who you're going to communicate with when
Right.
working at Plaza. I think that's great. Second is a questionnaire. Let's get to know what you guys do in your process, so I can let my team what you guys do, right? Let me educate my team so they're ready when they see that first loan. They can look at this questionnaire and be like, oh, boom, boom, boom. I don't need to ask for this. They're doing this, and we're ready to rock and roll, right?
Yeah.
So I prepare my team with how this non-del works, and then really is going through the Plaza process, right?
Right.
How are you going to get a loan to the closing line, right? To where you feel comfortable that Plaza is going to buy it and buy it in an efficient fashion, right? And that's where you'll go over the closing part and the funding part, which usually ends up at a warehouse line like first funding, and then the purchase side of things. And we've done a really good job in enhancements the last 6 months to make sure that we're purchasing loans fast, right? It saves the customer money and it opens up capacity for their warehouse lines, and that's important to them.
You missed the most important thing, man. I still have to coach you every once in a while.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Who gets the damn PA, right? That is,
Oh, well, that's
if that goes wrong, your
yeah.
relationship as a TPO partner on a
That's
non
part of the questionnaire. I didn't include all my trade secrets like you said, but the contact page is on the questionnaire for them to fill out on
yeah,
PA contacts. You're completely right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you, when you're going out and, now you're in this position, you're kind of working with a bunch of account executives who maybe didn't have all the confidence previously to sell
Right.
non-debt, but now they have a go-to.
Definitely.
What are the missed opportunities that you're finding is you go into an office, you're with an AE, and they're like, you're just asking this one or two questions, and all of a sudden it turns into, oh yeah, maybe I do want to look at that.
I think the missed opportunities is knowing that Plaza does full fulfillment for them,
Okay.
right? They probably didn't know that. That's the number that, a majority people utilize investor fulfillment, looks like nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I could bank that product at Plaza. That's
Yeah.
the other one. I already have an outlet for that.
Got it.
And I think the other one is, well, when I used Plaza 8 years ago and I sold my loan, it took them this amount of days to buy it. It's all, like they haven't, that's 8 years ago. Now we know that we're buying loans fast. They interrupt, and that's something that when you get in the nitty gritty of purchasing loans and what you needed to get done, I don't think our sales team knew exactly what that process looked like and how
Yeah.
we could make it more efficient for them. And I think those three across the board has helped us grow and get in more conversations. And God, I got to give it to my account executives for going out to their past non-del clients and say, hey, we've revamped it. Let's take a look on what you did 5 years ago and see what's different now. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Fantastic. That's great. So you and the president of First Funding, Nate Clear,
Yeah.
you guys used to hit the road hard.
Oh yeah.
Just do cold call after cold call after cold call, walking into accounts, and bless you guys. I didn't have the confidence to do the number of cold calls as much as you guys did, but you guys were, cutting your teeth at the same spot. What resonates with those memories today about how you attack the opportunities ahead of you?
Well, the fact that when he took my first time on the road, it was with Nate, and the fact that obviously he's the smartest guy in the room in every meeting that I know I've ever been in with him.
That's true.
And the client asked me a Plaza specific question, and I looked at him and had no idea. This was year one.
Yeah.
And he answered it for me correctly. That's one that's amazing. And I learned that every road on, like, every meeting, you need to be prepared to answer any question that client has for you. And I think I've done a really good job, especially in the non-del space, to be that expert. So when when I'm on the road with another AE and the AE gets asked it, I'm there to support them and be able to answer it if they don't know what it is. And I thought that was how embarrassing, right? One, it's your company and you can't answer it. And so Nate, that was the biggest lesson that I learned. And I think at that horrible experience where you're red in the face because you couldn't answer the question has stuck with me to be confident to even do cold calls now. Walk into an office that you see and just have your elevator pitch and see if you could get the 15 minutes to talk to them and go in depth about a good partnership with that company.
Yeah, we always used to talk about just what is the yes that you're trying to get. Is your yes that you want another meeting? Is your yes that you want more market share? Is your yes that you want them to convert to non-del? Identify that yes, and you know me. As soon as I get that yes, I pack up my briefcase and I'm like, okay, thank you.
Oh yeah.
You see me cut meetings pretty short after I get my yes, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
100%.
All right. It's always great to catch up with you. You're doing so many great things at the Plaza. What's next for you and what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, look, I think we're just super bullish of where this market's going to be and this non-del space, and we're really investing in. It's cool to have our operations staff super open to me, helping them with changes in our technology and certain enhancements has been super cool to work with them. I didn't expect going into this role I'd have so much involvement on that side of the picture, but it really has brought the sales and ops together here at Plaza. And we have some really cool enhancements coming out. May has a massive release. I think you're familiar with it as well, but we have some great projects, and we're continuously trying to improve our technology. We have more products coming out in the near future, which hopefully, our non-del people can bank as well. And I think it's going to be a really solid year of steady growth here at Plaza. So I'm excited and just got to keep on grinding.
Fantastic to hear. Thank you for taking some time. Look forward to seeing everybody on the next episode of the Non-Del Influencer Podcast. Appreciate it, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks for tuning into the Non-Del Influencers Podcast, powered by First Funding. For more resources and episodes, visit nondelinfluencers.com.